Okay, so this isn't really a tutorial, it's just like showing you some things on the worksheet that you're supposed to do tonight. So I'm going to dive right into it, and we're talking about dividing by decimals. So it's important to understand when you divide by decimals to conceptualize things. Decimals are base 10, so dividing by 10 or tenths or hundredths and so forth becomes very, very simple. It's just a method. You just have to determine what the patterns are. So what these two questions are doing is helping you figure out what the patterns will be. I can use my calculator, and that's okay if you want to use your calculator at home or on the calculator on your computer. Whoops, calculator just went away. There we go. And you just start at the first one. 452 is divided by 10. When I do that, I can see a very clear pattern emerges. This is 45.2. I bet you can already guess what the next one would be. If I go back to the calculator and clear, 452 divided by 100, it's going to be 4.52. You see the pattern that's happening. Now, a lot of you can do this in your sleep, so I don't want to spend too much time on it, but you're getting a decimal movement, and it's moving to the left. And some of you might say, well, there's no decimal. Well, you'd write a decimal at 452.0. You can see it here. In this case, it's moved two places. A trick that a lot of people use is that they notice that there are 2 zeros in 100. So that means you're going to move the decimal place 2 places to the left. There are 3 zeros in 1,000, so how many places to the left are you going to move the decimal? 3. And so you get 0.452. So the pattern that you see is for when you divide by 10, it moves 1 place. So every power of 10, this is 10 to the second power, 10 to the third power. So every power of 10, you're going to move it 1 place to the left. When you're dividing by 10, it's going to be 1 place to the left. By 100, that's 2 powers of 10, so that's 2 places to the left. By 1,000, it's 3 places to the left. By 10,000, it would be 4 places to the left, and so on. In this case here, you can then predict, where would this go? Divide by 1,000, 1, 2, 3 places to the left. If there's nothing there, you would pad a 0. Okay? In the first example, you didn't see it, but here you can see it in this one. So you're going to get, sorry, it doesn't like to write that small, 0.08912. Okay, so the pattern, you can describe that. Now, dividing by a number less than 1 is something that's hard for people to conceptualize. If you can use that area model, it'll make a lot more sense. When you're dividing by that very short side, it makes the other side very long. In fact, much larger than the original dividend. So you can use your calculator here, though, and we'll see if we can predict a pattern. 452 divided by 1/10, 0.1, equals, is the number going to be larger than 452 or less? What do you think? Larger, much larger. Okay, think about if this is 452 flats, how many rods would fit into there? It would be 4,520, because each flat would take 10 rods, right? So that's how we end up with a number that's much larger. So dividing by 1/10, it's actually multiplying by 10. Weird? You bet. Okay, so you can predict the pattern here. If you're dividing by 100th, think about it. If you had 452 flats, how many 100th cubes would fit on there? Each flat would have 100. So we're going to add, or you could say move the decimal place 2 places to the right. 1, 2. Or add 2 zeros. And so you can predict for this one, it's going to be 3 zeros. Okay, now this one, just going to follow that pattern. Where do you think the decimal is going to go? If you're dividing by 1/10, 891.2. And you can see that pattern. If this is by 1,000th, it's going to move 3 places to the right. 8, 9, 1, whoops, 1, 2, 0. Okay? So the pattern that you can see, you can describe that below, but I think you probably have it. Now, when it comes to actually dividing, it's always a good idea to estimate. So in the next video, I'm going to show you how to estimate and then calculate. So hang on for part 2.